Okay, it's that time for us to get to what we call, of course, cruising with the case handler, ladies and gentlemen. As we get into it, want to say a super pleasant good morning, reaching out to each and every one right here on 93.5 WVIP FM. I am David Squeezaniki, and I've got the panel ready. So I just wanted to say super good morning, reaching out to everyone. Welcome to Cruising with a Case Handler on 93.5 WVIP FM, brought to you by, of course, Pollack, Isaac, and DeSico. And want to say good morning, Nelson. Good morning, Alexandra. Good morning, Conrad Pollack, Minefield. We'll talk about that later on. How you all feeling today?
Alex, can you hear me?
I can hear you fine, yes.
I can't hear you.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
Hold on. Let's see what's going on here, guys, because I think we may have a little. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Oh, you can hear me. All right. I guess Nelson would not hear me. All right. So it wasn't me. I thought for a minute there, I thought it was me. So Alexandra, you can hear me, right?
I can hear you fine, yeah.
Okay. We're doing Zoom through the radio station here. All right. So hopefully we'll get Nelson back on. All right, ladies and gentlemen, once again, this is where we are going to actually do a show on immigration today. All compliments of Pollack, Isaac, and DeSico. Get your immigration questions ready. You can actually ask those immigration questions by simply just, calling 844-774-3529. That's 844-774-3529. And maybe Nelson is ready. Let's just check to see if we can actually hear Nelson. Nelson, are you there? He's on a phone. He's on a phone call right now. All right. But Alexandra, you are good, right?
I'm good.
Okay. Mr. Pollack, are you good?
I am very good.
Okay. I see you're in a minefield. We'll talk about that minefield.
I am. Well, immigration is a minefield, and we're in the midst of it.
Yes, we are. We definitely.
Hopefully, come 2 months or so, we'll find a path out through the wilderness back into the light.
It seems like we see a little bit of a light, right, at the end of the tunnel there, right?
Hopefully. Definitely. No, yeah. Definitely. There's reason for optimism. As they say, it's always darkest before the dawn, and right now, we can see that dawn up ahead. The end of the Trump presidency, Biden is going to be bringing a lot of good stuff for immigrants in the United States. So there's reason for cheer, as they say.
Absolutely. And as the recount continues, we know we're good. Alexandra is like, I know you ought to be extremely happy, Alexandra. You were one of those individuals that were actually, a little bit worried, as an attorney over there at Pollack, Isaac, and DeSico. You were worried about what the outcome of the elections would be. And you probably had reasons to be worried as seeing how close it got. What say you?
I'm happy. I'm not happy that it was this close, but, and I'm also a little bit disappointed about the Senate, but all is not lost. All eyes on Georgia in January. Mm-hmm. Hopefully we have some good news there as well. And the reason I'm saying this is because nothing meaningful in immigration can happen without legislative action. And if we don't have both houses, it's a foregone conclusion that's not going to happen. So keeping my fingers crossed.
Well, hang on, Alex. I have to disagree with you here. By the way, Nelson, you're muted. Oh, there you go. First off, Trump has had, I don't know that he's had any legislative changes with regard to immigration. Has he? Has there been anything that's been passed by Congress?
No, what I meant was if we want reform, we need both houses.
Okay,
so
but my
administration did, but they did a lot of by way of executive order, which can be easily done. But the second biggest part of this is all those regulations that they tried to promulgate, and they have promulgated some. That's going to take time to undo. It's not just going to be, it's not going to happen by executive action. That you cannot undo that easy.
Okay, but in terms of actual legislation, Trump has got zero immigration legislation through the Congress. And thank God for that, because it would have been even worse than it is. But the fact is, he's had a substantial negative impact on immigration, even without legislative changes. So assuming that the Congress does not go the Senate doesn't go Democrat, Biden can still do exactly what Trump did, as well as what Obama, to a lesser extent, did via executive order, and accomplish to undo a lot of the things that Trump has done. For instance, the public charge rule, which you well know. I mean, that's going to be gone pretty much immediately. I mean, we're already taking the position that there's not going to be a need for our clients to fill out that form and deal with that 20-page application and spend the money and the time and so on to get it done, because by the time immigration gets around to reviewing it in 6 months, if we file it today or whatever it is, it's not going to exist anymore. So that's just one example. I mean, a lot of things like that. Plus, I was just reading somewhere where even if the Senate doesn't go Democrat, that comprehensive immigration reform is one of the areas of legislation that actually Biden might be able to get through a divided House, divided Congress. I was just reading from somewhere, I forget where, but it was a reputable publication. It wasn't, Fox News or something. But so there is a lot of reason for optimism out there. And again, it's always darkest before the dawn. And man, it's been a long, dark night these last 4 years in terms of immigration is concerned, as well as other things. But that's going to change. Biden is going to be president in 2 months, and Trump is going to be gone. Although who knows, he'll be on Fox every night, or create his own network, or he'll be out there rabble rousing as usual. But the fact is, immigrants should be really happy right now about things to come.
It's going to be called Donald's own network. Anyway,
he's never going to go away. Never.
Anyway, hey, so listen up. The masses listening out there is an immigrant community. If you have immigration questions, ladies and gentlemen, it would behoove me not to tell you to call PPID. So I say to you, if you call them before the top of the hour, you are guaranteed a free phone consultation for a few minutes. All right? Schedule that with an attorney. And ladies and gentlemen, after you get the consultation, do the right thing and don't do the wrong thing and try to do it yourself. You're going to screw it up. Have the attorneys work on your file. Hire them. Retain them. Tell Nelson you want a payment plan. I don't know. Work it out with them. But make the call. The number is 844-774-3529. That's 844-774-3529. So ladies and gentlemen, make it happen right now. Call the firm, 844-774-3529. I'm gonna start it off today with an immigration question, and we'll come back for any immigration news update that we have. All right. And someone here says in the first question, any news about December 1 CR1 visa bulletin? My case was documentary qualified since May.
I checked this morning, the visa bulletin has not come out yet for December.
Okay. So the visa bulletins are not out yet. All right. So let's go to this one here. Can you apply for the I-130 for fiance if your green card status is pending, but you have other documents like social security number, etc.?
The only people eligible to file a fiance visa are United States citizens. You can't file a fiance visa as a permanent resident, period.
Plus, an I-130 is not the form that you use for a fiancé visa. It's an I-129.
There you go. Talk about the attorneys being on fire, man. They're kicking asphalt today. That's what I'm talking about. That's the reason why you all should pick up the phone and get your free phone consultation, then hire them. And you can do that right now by scheduling that with an attorney. The number is 844-774-3529. Hey, listen up. The holidays are coming up, all right? And a lot of you're going to do the wrong thing and say, let me procrastinate and put this off. Procrastination is the thief of time. You don't want to do that. Don't screw it up. All right. Biden is in now or will be in a couple of months. Get your process started. Speak with PPID. The number is 844-774-3529. Here's another question. I married a U.S. citizen and I am living currently with him here in the United States too. We applied for my green card since I don't have my work or travel authorization permit yet. Can I, in the meantime, travel within the US with my passport or not travel at all? Any of you?
That's Alex.
It's like you're all jumping to say, but you know. Okay,
Right.
Alex,
If she has a valid passport, she can travel internally, nationally. She can board a plane within the United States, no problem.
Okay. All right. What if she gets too close to a border? Is she going to be in any kind of trouble if she gets stopped by CBP?
I mean, I would advise her to travel with the receipt that she has filed for adjustment and the I-130 notice.
Okay. All right. I'm telling you, man, you guys are going to be sending me to law school. Y'all don't believe me. All right. The number is 844-774-3529. Once again, folks, you know, and speaking about that, one of the things I've never, ever done since doing an immigration radio show since 1996 is give anyone immigration consultation information. Never. And I would never, ever do that. And it's not like I don't know a lot of answers to the question. I'm not an attorney. And you got people out there doing it. I don't suggest that you go to anyone that's doing that. Go with the attorneys. All right. Go with the guys who have dealt with all the issues and dealt with so many different scenarios. Go with the guys who have, you know, it's not just about people who have gotten arrested and need immigration benefits. No, it's every single one of you. This is your status in the United States of America. Why would you not want to invest in that? Why would you want to try to do that for free? I wouldn't. All right. So make the call, get the free consultation first, and then hire them. 844-774-3529. That's 844-774-3529. Here's another one. What if my niece and nephew age out before F4 priority date? I petitioned their mom and their mom want to accompany them. Is the CSPA applicable in F4 for my nephew and niece?
It's applicable if the dates are relevant. I mean, they have to look at the date that the petition was filed. They have to look at the date the petition was approved, the I-130 petition, that is. And then they have to look at the kid's the kid's ages, birth dates as of the date of the interview. But the CSPA always applies if it's close, sure.
Okay, all right. Once again, that's the voice of Conrad Pollack, of course, the maestro. That's the nickname we have given him. He's the managing partner at the firm. Once again, the number over there, 844-774-3529. You also heard Nelson earlier on. The Maverick, another partner at the firm. Man is excellent at what it is that he does, especially if you have ever had any run-in with the law and you're seeking immigration benefits. Make the call to the firm exclusively, 844-774-3529. Then we have the boss lady, that's Alexandra Bondikoff. She initiated the show with me. And let's jump right into any immigration news update that may have come out, not come out, and if any message that you attorneys would like to send to the individuals out there tuning into the radio show this morning. Seeing that we're doing exclusively immigration, we're not doing personal injury live today. We'll come back to that with a mix of immigration tomorrow. Adam, you got a day off, man, but we all know that we should reach out to you if we get into an accident. 844 PPID law. Any update?
Squeeze. Everybody, I think everyone out there realizes there's no PI today because, you know, the three of us are actually able to get a word in.
I'm quite sure. You know, Adam is probably like SMH right now. He's actually doing SMFH, you know.
I mean, really, Adam's on the, it's like, we're lucky we get a word in, you know, if he's here. So everyone's aware that there's no PI today.
All right. So any update? Let's start with you, Alexandra. Anything you got to tell us on the immigration forefront by way of what's happening?
Well, there will be a lot of immigration news, I think, between now and January, because this administration is going to try to push a lot of things before they go out. It's called the midnight ruling, the midnight regulations. But
excuse me, by the way, Adam is listening. He just texted me. Sorry, Alex.
I like you, Adam. I don't mind when you talk. So one thing that came out last week is USCIS has revised its naturalization civics examination.
What
Right
does that
now,
mean?
what that means that a couple of things. Right now, people who want to become naturalized citizens have to pass the test. And it currently consists of 100 questions about history, about civics, and they have to pass 6 out of 10, which is about 60% passing rate. But as of December 1st, so for applications for naturalization that were filed on or after December 1st, the new test will apply. And this is significant because CIS has expanded the number of questions. There's 128 now. And I tried to compare very briefly the new questions. Some of them are about the Supreme Court, which are fine. But there was one that stumped me even, and that was, what does e pluribus unum mean?
What does what?
E pluribus unum, all right? And I, by the way, took Latin in law school. So some of them are fine. Some of them, to me, are just way over the top.
What if someone speaks a different language?
Well, you're going to have to take it in English unless one of the exceptions apply to you, and those are not easy to meet. But in addition to more questions that people have to study, examiners will now have to ask 20 questions, and people have to pass 12. They have to answer 12 correctly. And even if they answer the first 12 correctly, they still would have to be administered the entire 20 questions, which also makes no sense to me. So
I'm sorry, just to interject, actually. The old rule was you had to answer 6 out of 10 questions.
Correct.
And if you answered the 6 questions correctly, they wouldn't ask you the remaining 4 questions.
Exactly.
So that's the difference.
That's a significant difference if you ask me, because I mean, that makes no sense. There's just no.
It's so long ago for me, I don't remember.
And by the way, here's a really fun fact for your listeners. In 2018, a nonprofit conducted a survey. They administered a naturalization test to 1,000 American citizens, and can you guess how many passed?
Not many.
6 out of 10 couldn't pass the test. So anyway, this is my update. Whether this is going to hold after the new administration, I think it might actually. This is one of those things where it's probably not going to be high on the priority list.
You know, incidentally, there's a question that's popped in my mind. At what age does this apply to kids? Or does it?
What you mean if kids? So most kids will not apply for naturalization if they're under 18 and their parent applies for naturalization, they would derive.
Okay, got you.
You know, Alex, when we're talking about priorities of the next administration, you're right. I mean, there've been I don't know, almost 1,000 different changes administratively with regard to the immigration field since Trump came into power. But a lot of change will occur via lawsuits, and lawsuits will, for instance, I have no doubt. In fact, I think there's already a lawsuit being filed about the revisions in the citizenship test, and a lot of those lawsuits, whether or not they're successful, fact is the new administration won't defend a lot of these policies. So lawsuits will be filed against these new Trump policies, and once the Trump administration is gone and the Biden administration takes over, they won't be defending a lot of these policies, and those decisions, therefore, in those court cases will pretty much go against them because that's the way they're going to want it. So a lot of the things that they're going to want to accomplish, the lawsuits are doing for them, or will be doing for them.
You know, I agree with you, but I was very recently on a NALA call, and they discussed exactly that topic, and that's something that I didn't know. Basically, they said that even if the administration refuses or declines to defend those lawsuits, a third party can step in. And
that's right.
They actually said that, I mean, probably not for the naturalization test, but there are some other major rules out there that we may see a third party or, you know, one of those conservative organizations, they can step in and defend. That's not to say that eventually we won't be successful, but, you know, my point was, you know, it's not going to be as easy as we think it's going to be, but definitely I think, you know, we're taking.
Okay, but, you know, now we're getting into legal niceties, but, you know, yeah, third party organizations can step in, but then there's a question of standing.
I know, but that takes time. That's what I'm trying to say. So they step in, then it's just going to be a
perfect example here with regard to the citizenship test. You know, a lawsuit is brought saying whatever, they didn't follow the rules or who knows what, which is typical because they never follow the rules. And the Biden administration says, you know what, we're not going to defend that. We don't agree with it anyway, so the hell with it. And another organization, one of these anti-immigrant organizations steps in. What is FAIR's standing in a lawsuit like that? What do they have to gain by winning or lose by losing that suit? Nothing. Therefore, they might want to join, but I don't think they'd be permitted to join because they have no standing. So, yeah, again, the point here is a lot of the rules that the Trump administration has brought just to be cruel, just to be mean, just to be nasty, to use one of his favorite words. A lot of those rules are just going to go away, and happily so. But let me say that, as far as the citizenship thing goes, look, I think everybody should be able to pass a civics test, not just new immigrants, right? Everyone should have to look. I mean, one of the questions on the test right now, the current test, I think you have to name 3 rivers, I think, right? In the United States, 3 rivers. And, everybody should be able to name 3 rivers in the United States. Everybody should know that George Washington was our first president. I mean, things like that. Part of the problem that we have in this country right now is that history and civics is not as important, is not taught in schools as well as it should be.
That's true.
So
people don't even know how many states we got.
I personally have a problem with questions being asked on the citizenship test. Everybody should have to pass them, and I think it's a disgrace that Americans, 6 out of 10 Americans couldn't answer those questions. That's disgraceful.
I agree. And I, by the way, had to study and take the naturalization test. So I've gone through this, and I don't disagree. But
Well, look on the brighter side. For those people who don't know, Alexandra and Conrad, it's a good thing to study and know a bit more about the United States. You're coming here as an immigrant. You need to know as much as possible about the United States, especially if it's for citizenship. You need to understand about who your mayor is, who your president is, who your congressman or woman is. These are all things that need to happen. So I do believe that taking that test is a good thing, and people should never look at it as a bad thing. You need to understand and know more about the country that you are going to live in, the country that you're becoming a citizen of. So I concur with you both on that. Once again, folks, this is the Cruising with the Case Handler, a show on personal injury and immigration. Today, we have been doing immigration and getting your questions answered. The number is 844-774-3529. That's 844 PPID law. Call that number, schedule a free phone consultation. When done, hire the attorneys to rep you, handle your case. 844-774-3529. Nelson, you haven't been saying much, man. You good over there?
I haven't really had a minute, so a couple of things actually. I like to look at the glass as being half full. I think it is, we're definitely anticipating much better times. I think things will only get better. In fact, there was a recent decision in the Eastern District of New York where basically, and we had spoken about this previously, I believe they're going to start accepting DACA. People are going to be able to renew their DACA, okay? And that decision was a result of, again, and we spoke about this previously on the show, Chad Wolf, the acting USCIS director, was basically not properly appointed. He was never confirmed by Congress. And basically, a lot of his decisions, a lot of his rules have obviously no effect. So it's a good thing for DACA applicants at the moment that they will be able to renew their applications. So I think things are going to get better. I understand there's a lot of pessimism. I think it's hard to be optimistic after the last 4 years we've had. But I think good things are on the horizon, and I look forward to it.
Speaking of civics, I mean, I don't know that something like this is on a test, but presidents are supposed to pick their cabinet and a lot of other executive appointees with the advice and consent of the Senate. What the Trump administration, what Trump has done to get around that, has basically utilized acting people like the this guy, Chad Wolf, as acting head of the USCIS. They're supposed to go through Congress and get the advice and consent of the Senate to do these things, but he doesn't want to deal with it, just like breaking other rules and norms. Said, well, I'm just going to do all these acting people and just blow the Senate off. So here, this came back to bite him, which is nice to see, because the fact is, this guy Wolf, who he brought in, good name, this guy Wolf, because he's a carnivore for sure. He total anti-immigrant, rabid anti-immigration guy. And the court, there was a lawsuit brought, and the court agreed with the plaintiffs bringing the lawsuit that this guy making all of these rules against immigration, to stop immigration, to hurt immigrants in this country. The court agreed that this guy wasn't properly appointed because Trump didn't do what he was supposed to do in appointing him. And basically everything that he has done in terms of these nasty directives to hurt immigrants in this country, basically chucked out the window. And DACA is the most recognizable one of all. He basically chucked out, because what Wolf did after the Supreme Court said DACA stands and that it can continue, even though Trump tried to get rid of it, this guy basically made a unilateral decision that said, okay, we're only going to extend it for a year, which he basically blown off the Supreme Court. Well, this court now said, no, we're blowing you off because you don't have the authority to make that decision, which is a nice thing to see. And I think come January and going forward, we're going to see a lot more stuff like that. So there is reason for optimism.
Okay. All right. We're going to the top of the hour right now. We're going to end on 93.5 WVIP FM. We'll continue for a minute or two or a few on Facebook, the page, The Case Handler. Also, of course, on PPID's page, Pollack, Isaac, and DeSico. On my page, David Squeeze Anarchy. And please share to at least 20 people as we do this. Thank you so much, 93.5 FM listeners. We'll do this all over again tomorrow morning between 6 a.m. and 10 a.m. Have yourself an amazing Wednesday. We'll continue now on Facebook. Do remember, if you're on Facebook, subscribe, ladies and gentlemen. So this way, every time we go live, you'll receive notifications that we are live right here doing the show, on personal injury and immigration. So remember, we are here for you. As we continue, Alexandra, did you finish up with all the updates that you wanted to give? Just checking in on that.
Pretty much. I mean, the rest that I had to say follows what Nelson just said about Chad Wolf. They're going to try to speedily confirm him now, and then there's going to be they're probably going to have to republish all the rules that they tried to promulgate. And by the way, it's not just DACA that's affected by this, it's also the H-1B rules. So, I mean, it's a good thing that Chad Wolf was indeed illegal, and I find some irony in that.
All right, let's get back to a few questions that's left.
Hold on 1 second, David. Actually, you haven't asked me where I am this morning. Did you see a different background?
Yeah, I saw the different background. I saw the garbage can in the corner. I'm like, he's in a conference room somewhere.
No, I'm actually at our Peekskill location.
Okay. Oh, you are?
I am
Okay.
in our Westchester location, 906 South Street, Peekskill, New York. And I am working from this office today. I'm supposed to meet with a couple of clients, but this is one of our 3 offices.
Beautiful. And where are you, Alexandra?
I am in Manhattan. Over that way was where Nelson sits usually. So when we're both on the radio, we kind of like hear each other through the wall.
Are you banging the wall?
Yeah.
Got a question for you. Come over here. Got a client, and Mr. Conrad Pollack. Are you heading in the office today?
On the beach.
What?
On the beach. I'm on the beach in Jamaica.
You got a beach background there.
I believe it.
He's got a beach background. But I'm very, very serious. I will broker and sponsor us doing a show from Jamaica. Okay, once this COVID thing is over. I'm serious. I am so serious. I think it would be great also to do somewhat of a forum in Jamaica and Montego Bay, where people can ask their questions or whatever. I mean, it can be done, and do it on the beach.
It won't be long now. I think by this time next year, I think it's certainly feasible, if not even sooner. What I'm hearing now is that by spring, summer, the general public should be getting the benefits of this vaccine that they've been talking about lately. So it's coming.
Well,
Also,
regarding
a forum in Jamaica, we are having, our firm is sponsoring a Zoom meeting with the Jamaican consulate next week on Wednesday.
Okay.
with your assistance, of course. So we will be basically lecturing on immigration to the Jamaican consulate next week. So
Yeah, and we should talk more about that when we're on the radio itself, because now we're on the Facebook side. And for those people who are out there, there's an initiative that I spoke with the consul general at the Jamaican embassy, where we're actually working on getting, the target is 70,000 tablets for kids in Jamaica who are unable to go to school due to COVID. So if anyone out there want to participate in that, I'm going to be posting that today and tomorrow on my Facebook page, and I'm quite sure Mr. Alcian Roach has done that. The Consul General has done that also. So anyone want to participate with that, it's a good thing. It's by way of the Consul General and the consulate here in the United States in New York, where the consulate, I think, is responsible for 32 missions where Jamaica is concerned. So we'll talk more about that on the show tomorrow. But let's get back to 2 questions that I have here. And by the way, I must say thanks, Pollack, Isaac, and the Sequel for sponsoring that Zoom meeting. It says a lot about PPID. Let's go here. It says, hi, my spouse's green card expired last month and now applied for citizenship. Now, timeline shows to get the citizenship around 1 year. My case is now in the embassy, and I expect an interview soon. My doubts is currently her green card expired. Can this affect my consulate interview or entering the USA?
shouldn't.
Okay, that one was quick. All right. Hi, guys. The final one. I am still a green card holder, but I plan on applying for my citizenship next year. A lot of citizenship questions popping up now after that talk. And sponsor my mom. However, my spouse, who I'm not yet divorced, has just applied for food stamps and Medicaid. I am wondering if these public benefits he's applying for will affect my eligibility to sponsor my mom, since we are still married when he's receiving the benefits, but we're going to divorce.
Maybe. I doubt it, but it's certainly, it's actually a legitimate question. Depends also how long ago. I'm assuming she sponsored her husband, and that's why she's concerned. Depends how long ago that was, how long her husband has had a green card. For instance, if he's had a green card for 5 years, it definitely won't come up. But if it's been less than 5 years, I mean, yeah, I guess there's a chance that it may come up. And in fact, one of the things that the Trump administration was working on, that luckily they're not going to have time to do this. They were going to go after people that provided affidavit supports for people that provided affidavits of support for their relatives or whatever, in terms of processing their green card applications. They were going to go after these people if the applicants actually received public benefits like this person. That's not going to happen now. But in this case, the short answer is I don't think it's going to have any effect. I don't think the consul will even be aware of it, especially if they're divorced.
Got you. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, this has been Cruising with a Case Handler, a show on personal injury and, yes, immigration law. You may reach out to the firm by calling this number, schedule a phone consultation with an attorney, get your answers, and then retain them if need be. The number is 844-774-3529. My 3 great friends here did an excellent job with the show today. The Conrad Pollacks, the Alexandra Bondakov, and the Nelson Madrid. You may call them, schedule a phone consultation with them now at 844-774-3529. Regardless of where you are in the world, if it's all about the United States immigration, then it's federal, and you can reach out to the firm to handle your case. 844-774-3529. Thank you so much, my lady. Thank you so much, gentlemen, for being here. It's a pleasure. We'll catch up with you again very soon. Take care.